Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Sean, and this is a space where we use astrology to understand moments of pressure, change, and awakening, and taking advantage of opportunities too. Today we're talking about a rare event happening on April 15th, a 7-planet stellium in Aries. This has not happened in 1,000 years. I kid you not. So I think we need to take note. This isn't subtle. This isn't background astrology. This is a moment where everything piles into the first sign of the zodiac and says, act, begin, decide. In this video, I'm going to break down what Aries energy is really about, what a stellium actually does, the meaning of the triple conjunction at the heart of this event, and exactly what each of the 7 planets is activating. And as always, if this kind of deep astrology helps you make sense of intense periods, please like, subscribe, and follow for more content like this. So please listen to my intro, unless it's terribly boring, I hope not. And then scroll down for your sun, moon, and rising sign. All 3 will be accurate. Aries is the beginning point of the zodiac. It represents birth, instinct, survival, and courage. The will to exist as an individual is a key theme for Aries energy. Aries doesn't ask for permission. It doesn't wait until things feel safe. It moves first and adjusts later. At its best, Aries is brave, alive, direct, willing to take responsibility for action. At its shadow, Aries can be reactive, impatient, burned out, locked in fight or flight mode. When Aries is overloaded, like it is now, the question becomes, where am I being asked to step up instead of stepping back? Let me repeat that. Where am I being asked to step up instead of stepping back? A stellium happens when multiple planets gather in one sign, intensifying its themes. 3 planets already amplify a sign. 4 or 5 dominate your attention. 7 planets means one storyline drowns out all others. Events move faster than usual. Choices have lasting consequences. A stellium doesn't politely knock. It demands engagement. On April 15th, Aries becomes the loudest voice in the sky. So I think we need to listen. Let's talk about what makes this stellium so powerful. Each planet brings a different function, and all of them are being filtered through Aries, which amplifies urgency, initiation, and courage. The sun in Aries activates identity, vitality, and purpose, asking you to claim space, lead, act with confidence, and be visible. This is about self-definition, where you stop outsourcing who you are. The moon in Aries, depending on the timing and location, heightens emotional reactions, making feelings immediate, honest, and difficult to suppress, which adds heat and urgency so people feel before they think. Mercury in Aries speeds up the mind and the mouth. Communication becomes fast and blunt. Conversations can spark conflict or clarity very quickly, and there's no room for passive expression, so what's said needs to be said consciously. Venus in Aries shifts relationship dynamics, making desire more direct, independence more important, and redefining connection around autonomy rather than compromise at any cost. It's about choosing connection without self-abandonment. Mars in Aries, its home sign, brings raw drive, physical energy, and survival instincts to the forefront, making action unavoidable, but also increasing the risk of burnout if that energy isn't focused with intention. Saturn in Aries introduces responsibility, consequence, and accountability, reminding us to slow down before leaping, earn our victories, and act with maturity rather than impulse. This is discipline applied to courage. And finally, Neptune in Aries dissolves passive dreaming, demanding that inspiration be embodied, that ideals be lived rather than imagined, and making it clear that fantasies collapse if they aren't grounded in action. This is where spirituality meets bravery. No more simply believing, now we act. At the core of this stellium is a triple conjunction, where multiple major planets occupy the same degrees of Aries. This creates condensed time, accelerated karma, and reality checks around intention and follow-through. This alignment asks, can you sustain the life you're trying to begin? Dreams aren't enough. Action without integrity isn't enough. This is about alignment, body, will, and responsibility working together. So let's think about how to work with this energy overload. I suggest you take one bold action, not 10 impulsive ones. Also try to slow reactions. Aries speed needs Saturn grounding. Also very important, listen to the body. Fatigue is information. Choose leadership over conflict if you can, and disengage from arguments. I mean, just walk away. Importantly, act from clarity, not adrenaline. We're all gonna get an adrenaline rush. This energy will reward courage with some structure. So let's get into each sign. Hi Aries, you have the stellium in your first house, which means this is a major identity reset. How you assert yourself, initiate action, and lead your life is being rewritten. This is about courage, visibility, and stepping into a bolder version of yourself. Also notice that you have Mars in the 12th house, which adds themes of behind-the-scenes preparation, spiritual strength, and releasing unconscious patterns before you fully move forward. The best way to take advantage of this stellium is to act with intention rather than impulse and trust the inner work you've already been doing. An example of how this energy might play out is deciding to redefine who you are and how you show up, even if that means leaving an old version of yourself behind. Hi Taurus, you have the stellium in your 12th house, which means deep endings, subconscious clearing, and spiritual realignment are taking place. This is a powerful time of closure and inner reset before a new chapter begins. Also notice that you have Mars in the 11th house, which adds themes of activating new friendships, collaborations, and long-term goals. The best way to take advantage of this stellium is to slow down, rest, and consciously release what you're ready to outgrow. An example of how this energy might play out is quietly stepping away from a draining situation while preparing for a new future vision. Hi Gemini, you have the stellium in your 11th house, which means your friendships, communities, and future plans are undergoing rapid change. You may feel pulled toward new people or causes that better align with who you're becoming. Also notice that you have Mars in the 10th house, adding themes of decisive action around career and public visibility. The best way to take advantage of this stellium is to align your ambitions with the right networks and shared goals. An example of how this energy might play out is stepping into a leadership role within a group, or launching a future-focused project. Hi Cancer, you have the stellium in your 10th house, which means your career path, reputation, and leadership role are being activated in a big way. You're being asked to take yourself and your ambitions more seriously. Also notice that you have Mars in the 9th house, which adds themes of expanding your beliefs, education, or sense of purpose. The best way to take advantage of this stellium is to lead with confidence while staying true to your values. An example of how this energy might play out is accepting more responsibility or being seen publicly in a new role. Hi Leo, you have the stellium in your 9th house, which means your beliefs, worldview, and sense of meaning are being reignited. This is a period of growth, inspiration, and stepping beyond your comfort zone. Also notice that you have Mars in the 8th house, which adds themes of emotional intensity, transformation, and shared resources. The best way to take advantage of this stellium is to pursue what inspires you while facing deeper truths with courage. An example of how this energy might play out is committing to a new path of study, travel, or spiritual exploration that changes how you see life. Hi Virgo, you have the stellium in your 8th house, which means deep transformation around intimacy, trust, and emotional boundaries. This energy brings powerful internal shifts. Also notice that you have Mars in the 7th house, adding themes of assertiveness and necessary confrontation in relationships. The best way to take advantage of this stellium is to face vulnerability honestly and choose empowerment over control. An example of how this energy might play out is redefining a close relationship through honest conversations and clearer boundaries. Hi Libra, you have the stellium in your 7th house, which means relationships and commitments are front and center. Partnerships may begin, end, or be radically redefined. Also notice that you have Mars in the 6th house, adding themes of effort, responsibility, and daily work. The best way to take advantage of this stellium is to build balanced relationships without sacrificing your own needs. An example of how this energy might play out is renegotiating a partnership so it feels more equal and sustainable. Hi Scorpio, you have the stellium in your 6th house, which means your routines, health, and daily responsibilities are demanding change. This is about efficiency, discipline, and sustainability. Also notice that you have Mars in the 5th house, adding themes of creative drive, desire, and self-expression. The best way to take advantage of this stellium is to bring more passion into your everyday life without overextending yourself. An example of how this energy might play out is restructuring your work habits to better support your energy and creativity. Hi Sagittarius, you have the stellium in your 5th house, which means creativity, romance, joy, and self-expression are bursting forward. You're reconnecting with what makes you feel alive. Also notice that you have Mars in the 4th house, adding themes of emotional roots, home, and inner security. The best way to take advantage of this stellium is to follow your passion while staying grounded in what supports you emotionally. An example of how this energy might play out is starting a creative project that feels deeply personal and fulfilling. Hi Capricorn. You have the stellium in your 4th house, which means your home life, family dynamics, and emotional foundations are being reshaped. This is about building inner security. Also notice that you have Mars in the 3rd house, adding themes of important conversations and decisive thinking. The best way to take advantage of this stellium is to communicate clearly and create a stable base for your future. An example of how this energy might play out is making changes at home or having a defining conversation with family. Hi Aquarius. You have the stellium in your 3rd house, which means communication, learning, and decision-making are accelerated. Your ideas carry weight right now. Also notice that you have Mars in the 2nd house, adding themes of self-worth and taking action around finances or resources. The best way to take advantage of this stellium is to back your ideas with practical effort. An example of how this energy might play out is confidently pitching an idea or taking initiative around income. Hi Pisces, you have the stellium in your 2nd house, which means money, self-worth, and personal values are being redefined. You're learning what truly matters to you. Also notice that you have Mars in your 1st house, adding themes of courage, drive, and physical vitality. The best way to take advantage of this stellium is to take bold action in alignment with your values. An example of how this energy might play out is asserting your worth and making empowered financial or personal choices.